Fasten your seatbelts, ladies and gentlefolk, because heat pedal to the metal just got hotter. And by hotter, I mean colder, because it is raining outside. And it's raining heavily. Heat is one of the biggest board game releases of the last 5 years, shrieking into the world in 2022 to slavering reviews, then going on to sell out faster than Furbies in 1999 for the next year and a half. This lightning-spiced croissant of a racing game puts you and up to 5 of your friends in the cockpits of Formula 1 cars, challenging each of you to strain the limits of your vehicles, to edge out your competition as you scream around corners and blast down straightaways at blistering speeds. Push your engine just enough at the right moments and you'll take your rightful place on the podium. Lean on it too hard and you'll careen out of control, imperiling your chances of victory. There was so much buzz around this game that I could not help but be skeptical of it. And to be totally transparent with you, there was a secret, dark, twisted side of me that actually kind of hoped it would be bad. So when I finally got to play it last year, I was mostly delighted to find that it lived up to the hype. The dark, twisted side of me was disappointed, but that's the dark, twisted side of me. It doesn't count. Heat is awesome. It is far and away my favorite racing game. There is a lot I love about it, but all of my favorite elements involve pushing your luck just a little further to squeeze another gram of power out of your engine. I love stress. I'm a huge fan of any upgrades that have this little plus sign on them, and it's not my fault. It's not that I want to boost. It's that the parasites want me to boost. It's that the demon inside of me wants me to boost. And I know what you're thinking, everybody in this man's life keeps him far away from the casino floor, and actually they let me roam free, but that's just because I don't know how to work a slot machine. Heat, pedal to the metal, has since fathered, produced, secreted, begotten an expansion! Heat, heavy rain, that spews an absolute slew of content into the game. Let's take a look at it right now. Looks like somebody's got a Cheetos sponsorship because an orange car is coming to Heat. It comes with a dashboard and a set of cards, everything you need for an orange player to jump in. You can keep Heat a 6-car affair or go up to 7 with this fella in the mix, or just race as the orange car because you love orange. The orange card doesn't appear on any of the Legends cards, so it can't be seamlessly integrated as a bot, but if you want to play against it as a bot, you can always assign it to a different color on the Legends cards, or if you want to play with all 7 cars on the track at all times, you can choose to play the orange car yourself. Heavy Rain also introduces a couple of new upgrades you can use to customize your car ahead of a race, as well as some new sponsorships for the championship system, and a spanking new season that incorporates the new tracks. These upgrades include the super cool symbol, new for this expansion, which allows you to remove Heat cards from your discard pile, and that is amazing. And lastly, but far from leastly, we have Heavy Rain's headlining addition to the game are 2 original tracks, one set in a soggy rendition of Japan and another in an extremely colorful depiction of Mexico. 2 hitherto unseen dangers lurk in these raceways, ready to snare unsuspecting drivers: chicanes and, you guessed it, Heavy Rain. You know you've got a chicane in Heat when you have 2 corner lines set closely to one another like this, and yeah, they're scary. This is all scary. Heavy Rain looks like this, and it means that when you start the round on one of these spaces, shifting down will cost you 1 extra Heat. So shifting down 1 gear will cost you 1 Heat. Shifting down 2 gears will cost you 2 Heat. I don't have much to say about the orange car other than it looks great on the track, and if you put it next to the black car, you get Halloween colors. It does formally open up the opportunity for you to play with 7 players, so if that's something you're interested in, you can give that a shot. And if you do, tell us about it in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. If you've played the 12-player variant, I'd love to hear about that too. Please share your experience in the comments. The upgrade sponsorships and new season are a lot of fun. The super cool mechanic is, well, super cool. And that leads us to the tracks. I do wish there'd been some attempt made to give these mechanics some playback potential, allowing them to be applied to previously released tracks. The Heavy Rain is printed directly on the Japan board. There aren't any tiles or anything, so there is no official support for bringing Heavy Rain to France, for example. I don't personally mind this all that much. It might just be the way Mario Kart conditioned me to approach racing games. Like, You're not gonna take everything that makes Grumble Volcano special and drop it into DK Summit, because Grumble Volcano is Grumble Volcano. But it would have been nice to have for players that wanted it, especially since Heat has traditionally taken a modular approach to expansions, and this decision isn't in keeping with that. That said, the tracks are really fun just the way they are. That isn't a reason to avoid buying the box altogether. That's just something that I think could have made it even better. And that is everything in the expansion. If you are a Heat fan, you won't want to miss this. It'll probably be hard to find for the next little while, but if you see a copy on the shelf at your local game store, snap it up. If you are new to Heat, I categorically recommend picking up a copy of the game and trying it for yourself. If you like it, you can't go wrong with a copy of Heavy Rain. Now, to polish off this review, here is my completely unbiased and purely scientific ranking of all 6 of Heat's current tracks. This list does not include any fan-made tracks, though there are some great ones out there. If you're interested in exploring those, I've included a link to a list of fan-made tracks in the description. So check that out if you want some quality print and play action. Here goes. This straightaway is the reason why France is at the bottom of my list. It's never long enough. When I race in France, I don't feel like I can open up my engine and let it roar. The fact that half the track is made up of this technical corridor makes the whole thing feel fussy. It's only 2 laps long, so you don't really have time to correct your mistakes before the race is over. It's not a bad track, it's just not one I look forward to playing. That's why it's in number 6. USA. This is the best track for people playing Heat for the first time. It's just a little bland after a while. It never sticks around for too long. That's a blessing and a curse. If you make a mistake, like with France, you don't have much time to correct it before the race is over. It was between this one and France for the bottom of the list, but this one got some bonus points for the UFO. Mexico. The chicanes make every race in Mexico pretty intense. Passing can happen at any moment, but you have to time your passes just right because other players can easily get slipstreams off of you if you time it wrong. Mexico is a big game of chicken from this corner to this 2-speed chicane. That's a lot of fun, but it can be quite stressful, and that's why Mexico is number 4. Great Britain comes in at number 3 because of this 10-speed curve that essentially transforms this entire section of the track into one big straightaway. This curve takes the title for the speed limit that is most consistently ignored by players. Everybody takes that at 11 or 12 speed, sometimes 13 if they can afford it. Great Britain is always good fun, and I thoroughly enjoy racing on it. Italy is number 2 because of this straightaway. It's huge, and there's nothing so thrilling as putting your car in 4th gear, throwing 4 cards on the table, one of which is 4-wheel drive, and just breaking the sound barrier. That leaves Japan in the number 1 slot. I love the flooded road mechanic. The fact that the finish line is so close to this final corner and this final corner is flooded makes for some white-knuckle gameplay that captures the essence of a thrilling game of Heat. Downshifting in this last corner is a choice that can deprive you of the last boost you need to creep over the finish line, which makes this a flashpoint for insane reversals in the last few moments of the game. For now, Japan is my all-time favorite. And that concludes my rankings. The designers have yet to release a bad track, so they'll probably change quite frequently, but that's where they lie for now. And now, I want to hear from you. What are your favorite tracks in Heat? Which ones are your least favorite, and why? Explain your choices in the comments. I can't wait to read them. That concludes the video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. I hope to see you in the next one, and until then, I hope your life is full of great games and the best of company.